Okay, I got a question about joining boat teams, and a viewer wanted to do what I did in the Navy. I've made a couple videos about this, but I'll go into it in as much detail as I can and hopefully fill in some gaps if I left them out in the other videos. I was in something called the Maritime Air Force. The Maritime Air Force is relatively hard to get into because it's not yet a real thing, or it wasn't when I left. The Maritime Air Force is a part of Assault Craft Unit 1, and it doesn't have its own funding, so we fall under their chain of command. You have to volunteer for it. You have to pass a PRT with an excellent or higher score, and you have to meet basic requirements. You can't be colorblind and a couple other things. I think every year they admit 11, and then every time somebody comes back from deployment, they ship 11 out pretty much. So it's usually a 1-year contract with the Maritime Air Force, a 1-year deployment contract, and then your training is about a year and a half. So it's hard to get into. I wouldn't bank on getting into the Maritime Air Force because I don't know where it's at right now, and as far as getting their own money, and I don't know if it'll be around in 10 years. It'll probably be a whole different thing. So don't plan on that. You could join a Vbss team if you get attached to a big gray ship. They have teams that do visit board, search and seizures, and you could join that way. Their schooling is much less, and it's really hard to be a part of that team because your primary job is whatever you went into the Navy for. Say you're a quartermaster, you're going to be standing watch as a quartermaster, and then boom, they need you in the Vbss team. So they could be doing missions running off of, no sleep, haven't showered. I've been working this other job in the engine room, and then now I got to go board a pirate ship or something, whatever they do. I wouldn't bank on that being a good idea if you want to do cool stuff either, because it's a real thankless thing. And they don't do that much anymore. I mean, back in the day they were doing a whole bunch, but today's climate is really, they're not out there running and gunning except for in the southern Pacific. And then you got your Riverine Squadrons. Those are all over the place, and I mean, you can research Riverines. They do some relatively cool stuff. They came under fire a couple years back for surrendering, which is insane, and it made everybody in the small boat community really kind of pissed off. If you're ever in that situation, bow to no man, do not surrender. You're an American. All the cool stuff is being handled by the special operations units now. So that's your best bet. If you want to change the world, you want to go on missions and be in the movies, you probably should join special operations. But let me tell you, the best shaped guys, the most, hard charging individuals that we had on a ship were called buds drops. They were guys that didn't even make the grade, while trying out for the SEALs. So if you want to do that, you got a long road ahead, I think. I never tried out for it or whatever, but okay, I'm gonna go work out. I hope you got some information that was useful. Probably didn't. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.